Hi friends, it's Kathy, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, It's in the Cards Divination. For those of you who are subscribers, as I mentioned, welcome back to this video. And if you're new, then you're always welcome. And I would love it for those of you who are new, if you wouldn't mind consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And for everybody, if you enjoyed this video, click on the like button or comment in the comments field. Okay, so today I'm doing an Oracle card deck review. And the reason I'm doing it now, I've had this deck for some time. A dear friend of mine said, you should actually do a review on that deck. I really like that deck. And I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so for those of you not familiar, this is Angel Answers Oracle Cards with 44 card deck and guidebook by Radleigh Valentine. The artwork is by Marius Michael George. Okay. I don't often use too many Oracle cards. When I do, I was looking for something that was a little more succinct in its answers. In other words, I didn't want all this fluffy description necessarily. Most of the other cards I had were a lot of reading and very much, I want to say woo-woo stuff. And I was just wanting something that would give me a simple answer to the point with no fluff, right? Okay, this is the deck for you. Okay, so it's not an unboxing because I've obviously unboxed it. I've been using it for some time. We're going to look at this card deck and I'll show you why it's so special. Okay, so obviously, nice, thick, great box with our usual guidebook in it. And inside, of course, there are little descriptions for each card, as usual, and how to do the spreads and readings. I'm not going to use that. In fact, I usually don't. But once in a while, if it's something a little bit tricky, we will use it. So now I'm going to show you the actual cards. Let me continue. Now, as you look at this deck, you will notice it's divided into three colors. Okay? Blue, gold, and purple. Now, depending on the lighting, this can appear more pink, this can appear more purple, and this is still gold. Okay? Now, what they did when they created this deck, Radleigh, he originally it was published in 2014. Then he revised it and in 2019. So this is the revised deck. I don't know what the other one looked like. You can always search it if you wanted to see the prior version. So let me continue. I'm going to show you. I have them all divided separately, and that's the way this deck is made. We have the first pile, okay, which is your either purple or pink, depending on the lighting. For me, it's pink. This color is the same. Gold is gold in this case. Okay. And finally, we have the blue or purple, depending on your lighting, as I mentioned. Okay. So let's move that over because it is to the frame. Okay. So there is a reason why they are divided. And this is what I love about this deck so much. As you can see, there are more cards in the purple section here. And each of gold and blue seem to have around the same amount. The total, as I mentioned, is 44 cards in total. So when Radleigh created this deck, this first pile are cards that are basically what I would call advice, or in his case, angel messages is how he words it. So each of these cards, and we'll go through them, they're very simple, they're very ornate, but you can see this would be an example of advice. Another one, opportunity. Very, very simple. Another one, no need to worry. And I have I'm here to tell you, when I've used these cards, they are right on, right on. Peaceful resolution to you. See, there's even a card for that. Let me put these down so you can see them a little better. To you. Meditation brings answers, abundance, communicate clearly, simple, romance. I'll move these over here a little bit. Okay. Romance. And over here, be assertive. That's what I mean. Like, no fluff, simple. Ask for help from others. Ask your angels. And I'm flipping through these rather quickly. Compromise, because they're very simple. I don't have to read a big, long explanation about what's going on in this card. It is very succinct. It's clear. Remain positive. And there are cards here I've never even pulled. It's amazing. You do a reading and they don't always come up. Improving health, which is always, that can be any kind of health. Get more information. Very good card. Success. So if somebody is asking about something, obviously, the situation will improve. And these all have angels on them, of course, if you believe. Look for a sign. Forgiveness. Big, happy changes. Let's just pull that down. I know they're sliding. It's a very glossy cardstock, which I love. Recovery. Let go. Trust. So you can see, very, very simple. Helpful people. And of course, we started with listen to your intuition. So, opportunity again, no need to worry, and peaceful resolution. Those are what he calls the angel messages cards. And there are quite a few, as you noticed. The next pile in the new area are the gold ones. And these are timing cards. I think this was the original reason well, other than I was looking for a deck that was simple, I was also looking for timing as well, because a lot of times it's hard to read time, especially in tarot. Now, these cards have been very helpful, and I will show you those. Let's put those over here. And we have take action. So it's not all, but it's telling you now. Take action, like right now. Let's get going here. This one within the next few months. Again, very awesome with timing and not the right time. Okay. Perfect timing. A lot of times that's all people want to know. Can you tell me about the timing of this situation? Wait. Again, it's not 100% specific on a date, but it tells you basically if you're on the right track in the near future. And depends on what you consider the near future to be in your readings as to what timing you're ready. So it's like if somebody has been stalling on a situation a year from now. So it actually does give you a broader sense of something that might take quite a bit of time. And finally, within the next few weeks. Okay, these are awesome cards. Okay, so that's the timing aspect. And finally, we have the blue And these ones I call the yes or no. Okay, these are like when you just want a yes or no answer, more or less, right? So let us look at these ones. No. There you go. How easy is that? And then we will do more about this. This just says no, but I'm going to explain after this what we do. Yes, but with an exclamation. That's a definite go ahead or something is happening. There's something better. In other words, if it's not working out for you, this could be the reason. Unlikely. See, even the vague answers, you need those sometimes because unlikely, for example, is, yeah, it most likely won't happen because of, and then you want to know why, right? Yes, no, but with an exclamation. In other words, there's no way this is happening. We have choose a new direction, reconsider. So it goes a little further than just yes and no. Okay, and finally, don't stop. Okay, so you can see there are the three piles. So what you could do for reading, you could keep them like this in a three pile situation. As far as if you were reading these cards for someone and they had a question for you and they wanted to, let me just straighten these out. This is terrible. Okay, I'll move them up a bit so we can see if I pull some cards here. Okay, so we have the three piles in front of us. Somebody has a specific question. Perhaps they want to know, should I go ahead with this relationship? If you want to, you could then pull the yes or no pile. Shuffle and clear like you always do, and then pull your card. Should I go ahead with this relationship? Let's just pull a card here. There's something better. Okay, now when you hear something like that, let me just put this over here. And that's usually all you need. I mean, they're going to be, no doubt they'll be disappointed because, okay, why? What's going on? I mean, maybe they just want some advice on there's something better. So now you have the opportunity to pull the angel messages cards, or what I call advice. And I've used these in my tarot readings along with those cards as overall energy and advice. So let's see, in conjunction with there's something better, what can you tell me about that situation? Let's pull a message. So let's pull that top card. Abundance. Abundance. And you're like, what does that mean even? Abundance for what? There's something better. Does this mean that there's somebody out there who's richer, perhaps? Now, this is where your intuition comes in, of course. Or you could pull a tarot card to verify or provide more detailed information on that. What does it mean in relation to there's something better about this relationship? Let's try another card. We'll pull another one. Communicate clearly. So, if you were reading this to your client, you could easily say, your answer is no. There's something better out there in this relationship. Well, that could be a friendship, that could be a love interest, whatever the case is, family. because you need to be able, you two can't communicate properly. Okay? There's a lot of talking going on. Nothing is being said properly. In other words, the two of you are not, I was going to say communicating clearly, that's obvious, but you're not able to get along well. You're just both on different pages. Okay? And there's going to be an abundance even of choices coming. Now, it depends on what your intuition is telling you when you read this for your client. For me, I would see this as there is a lot out there, and you don't need to be concerned about, there's a lot of other people out there. And you don't, like a lot of fish in the sea, right? You don't need to be concerned. When you do find somebody else, because there's something better coming, or someone better in this case, just make sure you are able to communicate clearly this time. Maybe you constantly, with this person, your client is constantly running into conflict and arguments all the time. Okay, so that's just an example of a reading with a yes or no. Now, let's do one with timing. See what we get in timing. All right. Your client comes to you and they want to know, they're up for a job promotion, but they're tired of waiting and they're concerned maybe it's not coming. So you take your timing cards and you do this. You shuffle as we do, and you ask, assuming you have to understand that this, first of all, we have to make sure, is that person going to get promotion in the first place? Is it definitively a yes? So perhaps what we should do is ask the yes or no. Will they be getting that promotion? When? Or not when, but will, because we can't assume that they've just got this promotion. Maybe they're not going to, it may not happen. So let's see, will they get the promotion they've been promised? All right. No. See, that's why you always have to check. Okay. So now they're going, what do you mean? They promised me I was supposed to get this, right? Now, again, you could use your tarot deck to find out more information, pull some cards. But what advice will the angels have for you about this? You have to pull two cards. You can pull as many as you want, but obviously the less is clearer. The less the number of cards you pull. The more cards you pull, it gets muddier. So let's ask the cards, why isn't she or he getting a promotion? Why? Or even maybe not even why. I would say more likely, what can you tell us about that situation? Okay, because who knows, right? What's going on in the universe? Let go. So, in other words, because this feels very spiritually or spirit driven, in other words, they've got your back, they're looking out for you, let go. Now, does that mean let go of the idea of getting the promotion or being disappointed, or is it let go of the job? That would be where a tarot reading would be very good to find out more. Let's look a little more. Maybe there's another advice on the top here. Listen to your intuition. Let go. This could be telling you maybe it's time to let go of that job, right? Listen to your intuition. So you can see how this information is valuable. It's almost like a stepping off point. It gives you a very basic idea. From there, you could combine it with tarot to get more details, right? Okay, my friends. So here's what I like to do. I combine all my cards. I don't, this is going to take me a few minutes. I don't keep them separate. I used to, but I decided to let Spirit just pull the cards, and how they fall are how they fall. So let me just give it a little bit of a shuffle here. I may have to do a pretty good, let's see. All right. We have to do oh, that one can go as well. Okay. Or we'll do it sideways. So as I mentioned, this is a great oracle deck when sometimes people just want to know now, right? They're tired of and tarot doesn't, unless you have a tried and true yes and no method of reading, doesn't always work, does it? And and we know that it's not always, and again, those cards aren't always going to say yes or no either. They might say things like unlikely, time to reconsider, more vague, I guess you could say. And of course, there's no reversals, obviously. Oracle decks, I don't read reversals other than in tarot. All right, so obviously now I'm not going to waste too much time shuffling. I already have. Normally, as I mentioned, I have mine all nicely shuffled. And that way I will let them fall where they may. Okay, that's not going to work too good. Let us ask a question. Let me see here. There. Let us ask a question of our client. What should we ask? We're considering moving out of the country. Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards. What do the angels say about that? Okay, we're just going to pull 3 cards. Client wants to know basically if it's a good idea or not and what maybe they can be told about this. All right, so we're going to pull, and as you can see, there are 2 timing cards and 1 yes or no. Okay, first, take action. Second, the angels are saying a year from now. And finally, choose a new direction. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So make sure this is what I would read it. This is how I would read it for your client. Take action now as far as getting prepared, getting things going. So it's definitely saying to me, yes, move, but it may not happen right away. It could take up to a year or a little longer. Choose a new direction. So maybe out of the country isn't the way to go. Maybe they should be thinking about within their own country, within their own town, within their own city, within their own state, province, wherever they are. So that's just a great example of how you can get a very simple answer. Now, again, they're going to have more questions. Well, what do you mean choose a new direction? At that point, I would pull tarot. Okay, let's just do one more. I'll show you an example of that. What kind of readings? It's based on the questions, right? Okay, let's see. So they just met a new person, potential love interest, and they want to know some information about this situation. Is it going to keep going? Should they stay in it? What should they do? What's in their best interest? Or is this just going to, and I apologize, this camera keeps moving. Which way should it go? Or what should they do? Let's empower ourselves, right? They want more information. So let's pull 3 cards and see what the angels have to say about this. All right. So we have angel message. We have yes or no. And finally, another angel message. All right. So let's see. Let's see where this is going here. Oh, I keep banging it. I apologize. Okay. So the first card, they want to know where this relationship potentially could be going. Maybe they just started dating. Okay. First card, look for a sign. Which is interesting. We're going to see where else you get. No. An exclamation. Wow. Ask for help from others. So what I'm reading on this, and my intuition is ding, ding, dinging. When I see, look for a sign, to me, that's like when it comes to relationships, it's like the red flags. Look for the red flags is what this is telling me, because this is definitively not in your best interest, this relationship. And if you're really not sure, ask everyone else what they might think. People that are close to you, what are they feeling? How are they feeling? If you're still insecure about it, and let's face it, if you start getting red flags, well, maybe it is time to move along from this individual. It may not be that the two of you are compatible. Okay, so you get what I mean. And again, if they wanted more information, now you could then do a tarot reading for them. So, my dear friends, I hope you enjoyed this review of this Oracle deck. I really love it. I don't have any affiliation with the sale of this deck. It is just something I really enjoy using. And I would I would really, really encourage you that if this is something you sounds, sounds interesting, it's like, oh, you know what? I could use that in my work. Then I highly encourage you to purchase it. It is a fun deck and beautiful artwork, as you saw, and it does really, really help in your readings. Okay? All right, my dear friends, I hope you enjoyed this video on this review of the Angel Answers Oracle deck cards, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.